In previous videos, we learned how to import numeric data as well as text data into the OOM software by using comma-separated values. Now, we also learned that when you import text data or alphanumeric data, you need to set up the definitions of the orderings and the units of observations, as we can see here when we worked within Excel. Now, what I want to do in this video is show you how you can set up all of these definitions directly in the OOM software. And then once you do so, you can save those definitions and then you can directly import the data into the software. So in other words, you will not have to necessarily work within Excel or some other text editor to define the orderings and the units of observation. So let's go ahead and switch over to the software and see how we can set everything up. So take a quick mental snapshot of what you see here. I'm going to duplicate much of this over in the software. So we'll begin by selecting this Create New Dataset icon. That then sets up a new dataset, as we can see in our list of datasets we have here. And we start out with a default of 10 rows and 2 orderings. We need to change that to 4. I can hit Return or select the Activate Changes button. And then there we have the 4 columns that we can work with. Let's define the orderings. And we'll work with the labels first. Now, it's not case sensitive, so if these were all lowercase letters, that would be fine. We just have to make sure the spelling is the same. And so again, I could use lowercase q here for Q1, and then we have Q2, and then we have height H abbreviated to HGHT. Now, I'll come back and talk about the min and max in a moment. Let's go ahead and set the number of decimals to 0 because we're not going to be working with any real values here. And then we have the description, so I could type these descriptions in. But as a shortcut, I have already saved these or copied them to the clipboard in Windows. So you can go to the Edit Descriptions button, and we can clear this out. And then I can paste what I have in the clipboard, so there you have it, and select OK. Or I can just type these all in here just to save a little bit of time. So there are the descriptions. Now we need to set up the units of observation. Now here we can work directly in this edit window. And so we'll say 1 for males and 2 for females. And then we can go to Q1 and 0 for no. And 1 for yes. Now let's go to Q2. And I could do the same thing by working within this edit box, but let me show you a shortcut that might prove handy from time to time. We can select this Copy Information button. I can move Q1 over here. I'm copy from Q1. I'm going to copy to Q2. And here are all the things that I want to copy. Everything but the description, essentially, and select OK. And let's see. There you have it. So now we have the no 0 and 1 yes. And then now for height, here we can use the auto-generate feature. So this is where the min and max come in handy. So let's say we assume we're going to have a min of 40 inches and a max of, let's say, 80 inches. Not 80 minus, but 80. And now let's go to the auto-generate feature here. And let's say here it defaults to 5, or maybe I've been here before and it's set to 5, divide into number of units 5. So 50 to 55 all the way up to 80 here. So let's say that's what I want to do. So I'll select OK. And there you go. So now we have everything pretty much set up. Now the number of units here is not necessary. You don't necessarily have to change that. OOM understands that there are 2 units of observation, for example, for sex. It's just male and female. But if for clarity's sake you want to change this to 2, you can do so. And here we have 2, and here we have 2. Same thing for max and min. These really come into play with the auto-generate feature, but for clarity, if you wish, to make sure everything is understood correctly in your saving of the data and storing of the data, you can change all of these to the proper values here, if I can hit the right buttons on the keyboard. Okay, so there we have everything as we wish. Now we can select OK. And here everything is set up. Now all we need to do is import those data. So let's go to File and Import CSV data file. And this is the data set we've been working with. The labels are included. We're going to integrate with this new active data set. Select OK. And there you go. Again, we have this extra line there. Just quickly get rid of that. And we can see the labels have already been turned on here. If I turn those off, see the values. And let's quickly open Excel and check these to make sure everything has been read in properly. So here is that data set again. So MFF, that matches up. No, yes, yes. Looks good. Yes, no, no. We have that missing data point there. And then 72 inches is, yep, in the 68 to 73 range. 60. Okay, everything looks good. If I want, I can turn off the labels here to get back the values. And let's pull Excel back up. And we can see the 72, the 60 to 58. Okay, everything has been read in. So you can set up the orderings and the units of observation right in OOM and then import the data from a comma-separated value file. Now, before shutting this video down, let me show you quickly how you can save all of this. So you can select File and then Export Data Definitions and CSV Ordering Information. So here you can save the ordering descriptions, your unit definitions in there, and just browse to find a file there or where a location you want to save it and select OK, and it will save that setup file. So then in the future, if you have another data set and you want to import that into OOM, you can find this setup file, import that first, and then grab those comma-separated values.